Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is Stitching and Tea with B. My name is Barbara, and this is my Flosstube channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. So, how's everybody doing? Is everybody doing okay? I'm okay. I hope you're doing okay as well. So, it's a kind of a gray day here today in Southern California, my neck of the woods. It's a little misty. It's cloudy, very gray. And this is my type of weather, right? I love to, it gives me energy to do work, right? So I've been doing a little bit of spring cleaning, purging some things, out with the old, in with the new, and getting rid of a lot of things. I'm at an age now where all this extra stuff is really kind of getting on my nerves. I had a lot of collections, different things that I've collected over the years, everything from dolls to books, and everything in between, dishes, umbrellas, perfume bottles, all the things, teacups, teapots, tea sets, just so much stuff. And so I am excited about lightening my load, as it were. Yep. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has been shouting me out, sharing me with their followers, mentioning me in their videos. That is wonderful. I am so appreciative of that. For those folks, I will be mentioning them down in the description box below, and I would encourage each of you to take a look at that and go and visit these folks that were kind enough to share me with their followers. Thank you also to my new subscribers. I've gotten quite a handful of those lately as well, and for that I am truly thankful. I'm so excited to know that you decided to come along on this journey with me. If this is your first time seeing me, welcome. I hope that you find value in something that I say or share, and if you do, I hope that you would subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell for to be notified when I upload another video, and I usually upload just once a month. And I've been sticking to that schedule, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. So this is episode 13, and that means that 1 year ago, this month, the 19th of April, in fact, was my first published video on Flosstube. Round of applause. I need one of those little machines that, no, I don't need that. Anyway, so I'm still here. I do remember in my first video, episode 1, where I said I did not know if I was going to continue, and yet here I am 13 episodes later, and I don't see any signs of stopping. I enjoy sharing my tea adventures as well as my stitching with all of you. So that being said, I didn't even tell you, but this is a channel where I talk about my love of cross stitch and my love of tea. Not gossip tea, but actual drinkable, sippable, consumable tea. And I hope that you will stick around and see what that's like. I got a little special insert that I did today for you all, and I hope you like that as well. So back to having 1 year on Flosstube. That is a milestone, and for that, when all of you coming along on the journey with me, I'm going to do a giveaway. I want to get that out of the way right now so that I don't have to be thinking about it for the rest of the time. Okay, so I am going to give away a chart, and this is from October House Fiber Arts, and it is Honey Fair. I'm going to be giving this away to one lucky viewer. And the key word that I would like for you to use is honey. Okay, as simple as that. And I will post this anywhere. Okay, so it's open to all. Okay, that just makes it fair. Okay, all of you guys are part of this. And if I can, when I can, I like to share, worldwide, wherever it needs to go. It's just a little flat chart, so it shouldn't be postage, shouldn't be crazy. But anyway, Thank you again for liking, commenting, sharing, and coming along with me on this journey. You know, you put the camera up, you get your microphone out, and then you just start talking. You don't know if anyone's going to show up, and I'm happy that you guys decided to spend some time with me. And even on today, you decided to come and spend time with me, and I appreciate that ever so much. Okay, so in today's episode, I have all the things. I have a start, I believe. Yes, I do. Do I? Yes, I think I do. Start, finish, whips. Okay, and we will be getting into that shortly. For today's tea, I think you're going to like this one. And it's a good one to usher in spring, warmer days and things like that. And then, like I said, I have a little extra something that I threw in. So if you are new here, I have to tell you at the outset, those who have been with me for a time know this about me. I am upstairs in my bedroom, and I have two windows, big windows right in front of me. And, see, there goes a bird right there. Lots of trees and bushes and things in my yard. And so there's a lot of activity that goes on back there. As we enter the warmer months, there's my crow. You know what? I named him Rupert. You guys, it's a whole story that I'll have to do another time. But I've been trying to woo these crows into my yard. And my daughter's like, Mom, that's kind of creepy. Well, I decided to try it. And so I have this one that when I have my windows open and I start talking, he flies into the palm tree right outside my window. And he will be standing there like he's listening to me. For example, the other day, he was on the neighbor's roof. And I said, hello, crow. Hello, crow. And he came swooping down and flew and landed in the palm tree. So he's really close to my face, right? So I'm telling him how beautiful he looks and all the things. Because, if you really look at a crow, they're not just black. Some of them have a little blue going through them. He's gorgeous. He's looking a little rough, though. So, there he goes. He is in my tree right now. He's in my tree. Oh, my goodness. You're seeing this. Oh, he just flew away. Okay, let me calm down. Whew. You guys. So, what I was saying is that he gets in my tree, and I was saying out loud how pretty the feathers looked. Do you guys know that crow started going around in a circle? It was doing this and turning this way and that and going around in a circle like, oh, you like my feathers? Like he wanted me to see all of the feathers. So that creeped me out a little bit. So I got very quiet. But what I wanted to say to the people who are just seeing me for the first time and getting an impression of me, I love birds. I always have. I used to do feeders and bird baths and planting I would plant sunflowers so that they could eat. I don't do any of that stuff anymore, but I still love looking at them. I think they're fantastic. They're very interesting to me. So I do get excited. And as you just saw, sometimes I get off track. So I'm going to calm myself down from saying, I named him Rupert. Probably should have named him Ruby, because I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I just know that there are a lot of crows that come around, and I thought that was very interesting. And even now, just speaking, having my window slightly open, I was wondering if he could hear me. Anyway, that's me. That's just me. So if you see me looking off to the left or the right, it's because I am watching the activity in my yard. Now, I considered filming in another room in my studio, but there's a big window in there too. And so it's just no getting away from it. I like natural light on me. I don't have any artificial lights on me at the moment, and that's how I like to film. Because if you ever see me in person, I don't want you to be, get a jump scare thinking, oh, she looked one way on the camera and then she looked some way different in real life. This is me. Okay, enough silly. So let me think. Oh, you know what I wanted to show you? Couple things. I'll be right back. Told you. So I recently watched Andrew, the runner stitcher. Do you see him? I love Andrew. And his little dog Winston, so cute. And so he had his mom on, and I loved her. Her name is Sue, I believe. And she used to cross stitch, but her eyes have changed, as they do when we get older. It's just part of it. But she does diamond painting, and that's something that I'd been thinking about doing for quite some time. I bought my youngest daughter a diamond painting kit, which, by the way, is still in its original box. I think she's had it for a year now. But I won't touch that because I bought it for her. But Andrew's mom diamond painted coasters. And I thought, well, that's small enough for even me to be able to try. My issue is, once I start a new craft, I just jump in and I buy all the things because I want to make all the things. But I told myself I wasn't going to do that with this. We'll see how long that lasts. But I purchased a diamond painting kit, and this one is the same one I believe that Andrew's mom did with the sea theme, because I'm a beach girl. I grew up in a little Sleepy Harbor town, and I miss it so much because I'm inland now, which is really blah, but you know, you can go where your money goes, right? So anyway, I've got this kit. I haven't started it yet. This is going to be something that we do in the summertime, because here summers are 110, 112, 113, 115 degrees. So we stay in the house and we lay low. So I'm excited about starting that, and I will share that as it unfolds. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, I got some more teas from Simpson & Vail. Now, I know this is not the tea segment, but I did want to show you this here. This is Simpson & Vail's floral tea gift box. I had shared with you in another video Simpson & Vail's literary tea gift box, and this one is all florals. So floral teas are my favorite. I love a floral black tea. Floral green teas are lovely as well. But this one has, just going to read it to you, floral nectar, lilac bouquet, spring blossom, and violet rose. As I drink on these, I will share them with you. But the reason I'm showing you this now at this time is because I don't know that this is a special thing that they're doing for springtime. But if this sounds like something you may want to try, I suggest you head over to Simpson & Vail and give it a look. I had a viewer who recommended Simpson & Vail to me. It's Rose Tree. I think it's Rose Tree 426, but I believe that your name is Eileen. And I have been in a love affair with Simpson & Vail ever since. I have repurchased the tea that she originally told me about, which was, and I have something else to show you too, which was an Alice in Wonderland tea, Lewis Carroll tea. But let me show you this. This one is also from Simpson & Vail, and this is the William Shakespeare tea. This is also part of their literary teas, and April is William Shakespeare's birthday month. Somebody tell me how old that man would be if he were living today. I could have done a Google search. I didn't do that. But this one also got some flowers in it. So it's got a rose congee black tea, lavender petals, rose petals, rosemary, and bergamot oil. Oh boy, this is really good. I had a sample of this and I immediately added to cart the full size. I like getting these, the tins rather than the packets. Let me just show you this. I'm sorry. I know this isn't the tea segment and some of you probably skipped that part. Ooh, I hope my box isn't sounding too noisy here in my microphone. Anyway, this is how the sample teas come Isn't that beautiful packaging? You guys know I am a sucker for packaging. But that's how the sample packets come in these paper envelopes. So when you go to get the full size, you can get the 10 or you can buy a bag of tea, whichever you prefer. But I display my teas. This is actually part of my decor in my tea area downstairs. And so having these pretty tins is really enhances that space and really is nice for me to look at while I'm having tea, breakfast, dinner, or whatever I'm having in that area. Okay. Sorry about this. I am. But I get excited about the tea. I love it so much. I've been drinking tea since I was 5 or 6, and I do love it. All right. I think I've talked about everything on my table. So we can move ahead to what's coming next. Okay, so I changed up my presentation a little bit, and what I decided to do was go back to what I did in my original video, which was have tea after stitching. Okay, because it's stitching and tea, right? So you're stitching and then we'll have tea. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to you? Okay, so stitching is what we're going to be looking at next. Okay? Okay. I'll be back. Okay, let me show you what I stitched for the month of March. So I'm going to begin with a start. I started something in March. On March 20th, which was the first day of spring, I decided that it would be fitting if I started this beautiful chart. Spring Quaker from Lila's studio. Now, I've had this chart in my stash for a while, and I had the threads kitted up, and my needle minder was all in place, everything except the fabric. I was having a hard time finding fabric. But when I went to Florida in January, I went to the cross stitch cupboard and I found a fabric that I liked, and I was able to get it to cut to the size that I needed. I often buy online because I have no LNS, I mean none near me. Even, I don't know, 30 miles away, I don't have one. So getting fabric the right size is often problematic. And this is a fairly large piece. Well, I didn't want to get like a yard of fabric because that's too much. So anyway, I was able to get the size fabric that satisfied me. And here is my start. Ta-da! So this is Spring Quaker from Lila's studio. I'm stitching on 16 count Murmur Aida cloth from Picture This Plus. I'm using the called for Classic Colorworks and DMC threads, and I'm stitching 2 strands over 1 Aida square, and I love it. I'm so excited to finally be able to start this. Starting it on the first day of spring was just the icing on the cake for a seasonal stitcher like myself. And so here it is. It's a meager start, but this was one day. I worked on it for a couple of hours on May 20th, on the 20th of March, and I'm happy with my start. So I am going to be pecking away at this all season long, and I also have the summer Quaker and the fall Quaker on tap, ready to go on the appropriate dates. Now, I saw at Market that they had the winter Quaker. It's called Peace on Earth. I looked at it, I immediately wanted it, but upon closer inspection, I decided that I might pass on that one. These each have, these others have little icons and motifs that I think are just so cute. And so that's why I gravitated towards them. For example, on this one, of course, you know I love the bee theme things. I've got a skep there, some little bumbly bees. I love the bunnies. And this basket I used to collect baskets. I don't collect too much of anything anymore, but I used to collect baskets. And this is so cute because I also collected little cottages. Do you guys, anybody know David Winter cottages? I used to have so many of those. But so to have the cottages, little cottages in the basket, so cute. And so I couldn't wait to get this one started. And I love the fabric that I chose. Yep, I think these colors are going to look wonderful on here, and I'm excited to get back to it. Needle minder is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I will have its name in the description box below, like I usually do with all my needle minders, because I'm a needle minder collector. So I don't know if any of you are, but I often look at people's needle minders and I say, oh, I wonder where they got that from, or what's that one called? So I like to provide that information for you. So anyway, on this one, it was all very plain, the same one color. And I just had to get here so that I could get a little color in there for you in the form of that red heart. Not quite sure the road I'm going to take on this one, if I'm going to go across or down. But I know that I'm saving that basket with those sweet little cottages for last. Yes, I am. Yes, I sure am. So to come off of here, I can go ahead and put the words in here. I'll probably go across. Yep. Go across and then down and then down and then across and then finish that off in the center. I have no specific plans for this, like, oh, I'm trying to finish it by next year or whatever. I'm just going to stitch along on it and see where I get to. I think that's the most fun. Okay, moving right along. Now my next one is, well, I'm calling it a staff. It's not a start and finish. Get these little bits off of here. It's not a start and finish. It's a start and fail. Let me show you. You all will recall last month when I was sharing my challenges that I was having with this prairie school or prairie year. While I love the chart and the motifs, the patterns so cute, I'm struggling with my fabric choice. What I chose was 18 count vintage country mocha, and I'm stitching on the mottled side. If you know vintage country mocha, you know that one side is mottled and the other side is not. And so what I'm thinking now, even though I love the mottled side of the fabric, I'm thinking that I should probably flip it over and use the non-mottled side. This is where I am. So for March, I would, of course, be stitching shamrocks. Yes. But I didn't like that dark green on this fabric. It was too dark for me. So what I did was I went to my stash and I picked up Elphaba from Forbidden Fiber Co. I can't talk today. And I love this variation here in this floss. So I thought that would be really pretty to do the shamrocks in. However, as I'm stitching it, and I didn't do anything fancy, trying to make the colors match or anything, I take the floss and however it comes off my needle is how it comes off my needle. And I didn't like the way this came off my needle. Just plain and simple. I didn't. And I don't know if it's the fabric or I don't know. But the back side, as I mentioned, is not mottled. And I think that I might like that better. We'll see. But for now, this has been discontinued. It's kind of shelved. In fact, I haven't even started the bunny for April. And that makes me sad too because, there were some of the icons that were just really my favorites. And the bunny was one of them. So we'll see. We'll see. I think that I'm not going to unpick this. I'm not trying to save this floss at all, sadly, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is get these flosses for this little bunny, and then I'm going to do a little test swatch just to see, because I stitched far too much on this one. I stitched far too much, so I've wasted a lot of floss and time in stitching on that. But yeah, I'm not happy with that. So we're going to put that to the side for now, and maybe we'll circle back. I do want to finish it finish the whole thing, because I have a little display that I wanted to make with this. So I am going to get back to it. Okay? All right. So now I have some whips that I will share with you. Those are my starts. Oh, well, I didn't say, but so this one is, like I said, it's on 18 count vintage country mocha using the called for threads, which I believe are all DMC. I don't remember, but I think they are. And I'm stitching with one strand, 1/1. Is that one? Yes, it is. Yeah. Just didn't make me smile. Yeah. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to look at it for a while, and you never know. It may grow on me. We'll see. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. Yay or nay? Should I finish it or should I scrap it on the shamrocks? Okay, moving right along. So now let's get into some whips. Okay, I'm moving things to the side so I can bring up my whips. So the first one that I'm going to share with you is this beautiful Quaker inspired sampler from Modern Folk Embroidery. This one is part of the Put a Bird On It SAL, hosted by EJ of the Sunshine Stitchers. This stitch along started in December of 2024. It is not too late to join in. We've got some folks who are already finished, some people who are just starting. You've got people who are behind, like me, and you've got people who are right on track, like everybody else. So it's come as you are, okay? And so this is where I am with my Put a Bird On It. So the last time you saw it, it looked like this. So what I'm going to try to do is insert a picture of where I was. I'm not sure I can do this, but I'm going to try. Insert a picture of where I was so that you can compare to where I am now. So just in speaking, the last time we were together, all I had in was this area here. So this is all what I've done. All of this here. Okay? And originally, I was not going to stitch the alphas and the numerals, but I decided that I would give it a try to go ahead and stitch it the way that Jacob charted it, and I'm glad I did. It's not bad. My brain has a little bit of an issue with all of these things sprinkled around like this, but I'm trying to push past that because I do think it's a beautiful chart. As you can see, I am doing mine monochromatically. I am stitching this on 16 count porcelain Aida cloth that I purchased from Roxy Floss Co., and I'm using Classic Colorworks Colonial Rose thread, and I'm stitching this 2/1, and I absolutely love it. I love the way that it's turning out. I love the way that the threads, the stitches are sitting up on the fabric, and I love the way that the color of the fabric is doing things with this with the threads. You can see the different color variations of the thread. So pretty. I just love it. So the way that I'm approaching this is I'm going page by page. It's a beautiful chart. It's very easy to follow. I was so intimidated when I first saw it. I was looking at it and I thought, well, goodness, I really want to participate, but it just looks so big and complicated. Once you get into it, you get the chart, you take a look at it, you read through it, and you see it's not hard at all. It's very easy to follow. So this is a page finish plus some. Some of the motifs, like for example, might be cut in half. If it's cut in half, if it's a clean cut, what I call a clean cut, then I will leave it as such, like this. But if it's cut in half where I just have a little bit of bird beak, I'm going to go to the next page and do the whole thing, because I want the birds to be consistent. Okay. So yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And so my next page, I believe, is going this way. I originally wanted to go down and then across and down and save this. They call this Big Blue. I wanted to save Big Blue for last, but she's coming into play right here. You see the N7 and then this thistle. So there's the N7, and I've got the base of the thistle, the leaves and the little branch of the thistle going there. And then these cute little blooms are starting here with these little pops of whatever they are going here. And I'm just going to go with that. I am so excited to stitch the swan. I love swans. My mom collected swans, so every time I see one, I think of her. And that was actually one of the main reasons why I decided to do this, is because of that swan. Right there. Okay. Very, very pretty pattern. And again, it is not too late to join in. Needle minder is flamingo toes, and I'll have that listed in the description box below. Easy chart. I was so surprised. Easy chart to read. It's laid out beautifully, and I'm excited to get back to that. Okay. Did I say? Yeah, I did. I said all that already. Okay. The next thing, moving my notes about that I worked on, is another old friend. And this is this Juneteenth day. Now, this is from Shaded Stitchery. And this one I work on the 19th of the month. That's my day for this Juneteenth day. Some days it gets, some months, it gets 2 days. But mostly I work on it one day. And I'll give it, 2 or 3 hours. So this Juneteenth day, so I'm going to insert a picture of where I was, so you can see where I've been, where you can see where I was, and now you can see where I am. And here we go. A couple of things here. So last time, I had this, my initials, but I did not have the year, because I didn't want to be presumptuous and think that I was actually going to finish this in 2025. I didn't want to stress myself out, but I have given myself a goal, and I really want to be done with this for 2025. So I went ahead and put the year in. That was one thing that I did. And let me move this down so you can see the top part. I'm working on a table that, what am I trying to say? It's a table that I can raise up and down. It's not very big. I think that's my point. So anyway, lay that out for you. So you can tell from the picture of where I was, I did put in quite a few stitches. I brought my water over. I put in the boats. I still have one more to go. Pull this out to show you. I still have one more to go. But I was able to get that in. And then I started this border here. I am going to save the text for last. But when I get back to this later on this month, I will be finishing up this boat and the border and bringing the water over and really trying to get in as much as I can on this, right? So that I can get a finish on it. Yep. This is this Juneteenth day. Needle minder is from Rebel Stitcher. I'm loving this piece. Let me tell you about it. It is stitched on 14 count oatmeal Aida cloth from Fiber on a Whim, using all the called for threads, which are all DMC. Yep, that's this Juneteenth day. So I'll get back to it. I am, there have been a few months where I didn't work on it as much as I wanted to, you know. I did maybe an hour on it. But I like to give it, when I sit down with this, I like to give it a good 2-3 hours. And not all at once even. Sometimes, you know, I break it up. But so that's where I am with this one. Loving it. I am loving it. And this one will be framed so that I can display it. It won't go into the drawer, my nightstand drawer. Nightstand drawer of Stitchworks. Okay. The next thing I worked on is so I started doing something new for the month of March. It's called Sunday Stitching, and it's a piece that I decided to dedicate just for Sundays. It's a very mellow day here at my house, and so, you know, just usually kicking around doing nothing. So I thought, well, let me make a day where I dedicate a certain stitch to that day. And so I chose to do Sunday. And that is the Wizard of Oz tree from Tiny Modernist. I just love this piece. The last time we were together, and again, I'm going to try to insert a picture somewhere on the screen to show you where I was, where I came from, so you can see how far I've gotten. But the last time we were together, of course, I had the hot air balloon and then all the tears done. Some of the Emerald City and the Rainbow with Clouds and the Witch. She was the only character that I had done. The last time you saw this was my October Stitches video in 2024. So, yeah. But this is where I am now, working on it every Sunday in the month of March. So I gave this a couple of hours, sometimes 3 hours of work, and I was able to get in all of this you see here and to begin filling in the Emerald City. I love this piece. Here I outlined the sand, air quotes, of the hourglass because it kind of got lost. And once I did that, I really like the way that looks. Not a lot of back stitching on this piece, mostly their faces and of course the lollipop sticks and the strings on the air balloon, on the hot air balloon. Can you see that? I'll lift that back just a bit. And then there's the little flag under here too. But yes, I put in all of these characters, and these bits and pieces here are leftover threads from other stitching. For example, when I was stitching the mushrooms, I had some yellow left over, so I did this little buddy's hair. And then when I finished stitching this little guy's hair, actually it was the monkey's wings. I did the top of the scarecrow's hat there. And so whenever I have a little leftover, instead of, you know, taking it off and tossing it away or whatever, I try to find another place to use it so I can use it up. And that's why there's like just a couple of stitches here. This came off of the one of these lollipops here. That's what that is. And so I'm excited about this. I wanted to continue it for it to be my Sunday stitch. Even into April, but you know, I got kind of bored with it and I got really tired of stitching green. So I know that I have all of these leaves to do with these poppies, and so yeah, this is not going to be my Sunday stitch for April. I want to stitch her though. I'm so excited about stitching her. And of course, you know, I love the witch legs. Now on these, I will put in the stockings, but I'm going to wait on the shoes until everything else is done because I'm using a specialty thread for those. And once I do that, I don't want to manipulate the piece too much. Yeah, I think it's turning out really, really cute. I'm very excited. Looking forward to finish up these last 3 characters. Well, 4 if you include that little guy. And of course, Toto too. So that's the Wizard of Oz tree from Tiny Modernist. This needle minder, it came from Forbidden Fiber Co. in a Wicked bundle that I purchased. And this needle minder is from, oh, you can't see that. This needle minder here is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And that was also part of a SAL. That came in a SAL bundle that I bought from them a long while ago. So this stitching is 16 count. It's on 16 count Celestine by Fiber on a Whim. And I'm using all of the called for DMC stitching 2/1. And I do love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm excited to finish it. But for now, it's getting on my nerves a little bit. So I'm going to put it away, and hopefully we'll bring it back out very soon. Maybe it'll just go into my rotation. What I liked about doing the Sunday stitching was putting in just some effort on one specific piece and knowing that ahead of time, right? So, you know, I got my mind all set to stitch on the Wizard of Oz. So to sit down and really give it a quality time, because I did this one Sunday, I did this one on one Sunday, and I did this on one Sunday, just sitting down. You know, maybe I had Flosstube going, maybe I was listening to an audiobook or just listening to music or whatever, but yeah, and I like that. So I got a lot done. So now if it goes into rotation, I have such a great amount already completed that it won't be cumbersome for me to throw it into rotation. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe it'll turn up as Sunday stitch again. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, that's where we are with that. Very, very cute. Oh, these are called Floss Biddies, I believe, and they are from the Fat Quarter Shop. And what they do, here, I'll turn over and show you. Oh, the guys are going out on their bikes again. Be safe. They hold all my extra fabric in my Q-snap so that I'm not having to fight with that all the time. And that's what that does. Plus, it's a fantastic needle minder. You know, when you're down here in this area, just throw the needle on. So yeah, getting back to it, just have a little bit more fill in of the Emerald City. Of course, I've got Yellow Brick Road and Poppies to do, but you know, it's all part of it. Okay, the next thing that I have, so that's it for my whips. I'm gonna pause. Hold on, please. Okay, I'm back. I had to get a drink of water. Okay, so that was it for my whips. What I want to show you now, I have two finishes. Not fully finishes, don't get excited. They're just finished stitching. The first one is the Happy St. Patrick's Day, what's it called? Free, I forgot. What's it called? Free Pattern Friday. Yay, me. I remember it. So this is Free Pattern Friday. This is a Free Pattern Friday chart from Primrose Cottage Stitches. And this is free, you guys. So all you have to do is sign up for their newsletter. And the first Thursday of the month, I believe it's Thursday, they will send you a newsletter and it will have a free pattern in it. That you can't beat that. And it's Primrose Cottage. Everybody loves them. So I finished this stitch and here it is. Now I stitched mine on 16 count platinum, but I didn't use the called for colors because I pulled from stash. It's just 3 colors, a green, a black, and a yellow. And so I went to my over dyes and I chose Onyx for my black. It's coal. See, it says it right there. If only I could read. And then Baby Spinach for the green. And then Harvest Moon for my yellow gold. And I love it. I love the way that these are all playing together. I didn't want real sharp colors. And I think that these turned out so pretty on this. Bring it up so you can see it a little bit better. I love how the variation in that gold is playing around in there. It gives it so much dimension, the over dyed threads. I just love them. And then here's the green looking really pretty over there. So cute. So also with the Primrose, this is all a la carte. First you get the chart for free, but they also sell a floss pack and they sell a finishing pack so that you can finish your project to look just like this. I usually buy the finishing pack, but for this one I didn't because I don't want to make a pillow. I'm going to do a flat finish on this, something like a little rectangular piece that I can stick on an easel in my tier tray for St. Patrick's Day decor. That's what I wanted to do with this one. But yeah, and the packs are not very they're not very expensive. I guess it does depend on what kind of floss they're using, because sometimes the floss is a little bit pricey depending. But anyway, that was for March, and just so happens that I printed off the April Free Pattern Friday, and it's this cute little cottage. It says love grows here. Now I'm not planning to stitch this one, but I did want to show it to you. Isn't that cute? So cute. Cute colors. And as it would be, I have all of these classic colorworks in my stash, so I could stitch it without having to buy anything. It's just that I hadn't planned to stitch the house this time around. So anyway, again, this is free. Just get your sign up for the newsletter and they will send that to you. All right. My next share is also a finish, just a finished stitch, not a fully finished. And this was also a SAL. This one was with Helen D, and this was the Coop SAL. Now this one is with Pigeon Coop Designs. We were to choose a design from Pigeon Coop Designs, a design that had a bird, and then go ahead and stitch that. And that was the SAL. So I finished it. And here it is. I did Partridge and Pear. I happen to have that in my stash already. And so I just went ahead and whipped that one out. I love the shading on that Pear. That is so pretty to me. And I love the little geometric designs that Max has put into his design here. Look at the texture that provides. Let me bring it up. You can really see. And look at that design in the wing. Kind of looks like an Easter egg, huh? If I cover that part up. Very cute. And I love this detailing here and this here. So pretty. A little bit of confetti in there. Not a problem though. Not a problem. And then look at the little details inside of the branch. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. And then I love the little swiddly boop. I'm sure it has a name. I don't know what it is, so I call it a swiddly boop. I think it's cute. Anyway, so, and this SAL is ongoing as far as I know. I haven't really participated in it. I haven't posted this on any social media or anything like that. I'm just not having a lot of time for that kind of stuff right now, but I will eventually. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, I didn't tell you the stats, the deets on this one, did I? So this is stitched on 14 count off-white Aida cloth by Cosmo using all of the called for threads, which are DMC. Another thing I want to say about this is Max likes to finish his pieces off with a hoop. And I do believe that that's how I'm going to finish this one, because I think that's really nice. And it's something that I can hang on the wall or put on an easel. You know, I don't always want to do pillows. Anywho, there we go. So that's it for our stitching for the month of March. What do you think? Not bad, huh? Okay, stitching is done. You know what that means? It's tea time. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so today I'm blending tea, and I thought it might be fun if I shared with you my blending process. This is really basic, really simple, very simple. Anybody can do this. It's just adding a few ingredients to an already really good tea. Now, this is Breakfast in Paris. It is from Magic Hour Tea. I talked about this in episode 1, so I'm not going to talk about the tea today as much as I am going to talk about the blending process that I go through. This here is a refill bag, and I get this to refill the apothecary jar. Okay? And I also have it in a travel size, so I'll be needing to refill these today. And let's begin. So I just get my bowl here. I'm going to put on some gloves. Now, even though this tea is mostly going to be consumed by me, you know, I don't know if a friend's going to pop in, and I want to be, you know, sanitary. So my gloves on. My hands will rarely touch the tea unless I get feeling especially handsy. Anywho, so I'm just going to open this up and pour some into the bowl. Just going to do the whole lot of it there. This packaging is so pretty. Ooh, that smells so good. So this is the tea as it comes from Magic Hour. As you can see, it's basic oolong tea. Now these little tea leaves here, I'm talking about the tea. Oolong tea unfurls, so you want to give it a lot of room to breathe. Okay, so to this, I am going to add some flower petals. I'm going to be adding rose, and I'm going to be adding lavender. Now these botanicals, these little dried flowers, I picked these up at the Spice Merchant near me. You can get them from farmers markets too. I've gotten my lavender from there. But when I had my own tea room, I grew my own herbs. I grew my own roses. That way I knew that they were organic and pesticide free. And I knew that they had been treated carefully. And the same with the lavender. So I just keep them in these ball jars with the wood lids. I do have the gold lids that go on these. But I just think that in my tea cabinet, I like the way that this looks, and it stacks up really nicely. Anyway, we've got rose petals here, and they smell delightful. Again, you want to make sure all of this is organic. I am probably going to just pour all of that in. Yep. Pour all of that in because I have to fill my apothecary and also my traveler. And I just mix that in. Now, see, I'm going through here, and you can find big sticks like this. I'll take that out. But sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I will also enhance my tea leaves with 1 drop of essential oil. I am going to get a little handsy in here because I forgot to bruise the rose petals a little bit. If you give them a gentle squeeze before you add them to the tea, then that will release the essential oils, and then that gets all throughout the tea. And that's what you want. Okay, let's add some lavender. Now with lavender, first of all, with the roses, that's going to add a very subtle scent, a lovely aroma when the tea leaves are brewing. It's going to add a little bit of flavor. Lavender, on the other hand, is extremely boisterous. So we want to be very sparing with that, okay? You can always add more if you want more. But I actually go in with just a little bit of lavender. Just a little bit. Because with lavender, it can go 1 of 3 ways. It's either going to be too strong of lavender, it's going to go soapy, or it's going to taste medicinal. And we don't want any of that. We want a really good balance. And so I'm going to give this a gentle squeeze too. Release the essential oils in there. And then we're going to just mix that through. Just mix that up. And again, ooh, that's smelling really, really pretty. It smells so pretty. Okay. Very nice. And you know, it's really just as simple as that. I'm going to take a sniff of this up close. And, I don't do any measures, any particular measures. I think I want to add a little bit more lavender. I am actually going to take this portion of lavender and put it in my hand like so. And give it a little, see, I'm squeezing it. And that's going to release a lot of the volatile oils that are in there and really permeate that throughout the tea. This is a black tea, so it's very strong and it can stand up to the lavender. You want to be extremely sparingly with this if you're adding lavender buds to, say, a white tea or green tea. Those are a little bit more delicate in flavor. White tea especially is the most delicate of all. But yeah, just add that in like that. Looks like potpourri, so you have to be careful. But let me smell it now. Oh yeah, that is perfect. Little bud jumped out. And let me see about this. This is how it looks now. Quite a bit different, isn't it? From the plain tea, which by the way on its own is just fine. So the flavor profile on this is floral. And there are some floral notes to it. It's just that I like things to be a little bit stronger. I do love floral teas. Those are the top for me. Look at how pretty that is, though. I think it could benefit from some more rose petals, but that was all that I had. So I need to make a trip down to the merchant to get some more. There are online retailers too who sell these types of ingredients. I also purchase from Rose. I think it's a Rose Mountain. I don't know. I will have it in the description box below. But they have ingredients like this that I trust. So you have to be careful because, you want to make sure that it's organic and that it has been handled properly. Because we don't want to be, drinking hot pesticides. So that is, I'm going to get that stick out of there because we don't eat sticks or drink sticks. That will poke right through my tea bag. Oh, look, it broke up. Oh, we're good there. So at any rate, let me put the top on that because we want to make sure that stays sealed. So what will happen now, I have a funnel and I will funnel the tea into the apothecary jar. And this one, I just take and scoop it in because it fits right in there nicely. And this is the one that I take on my vacations with me, or if I'm going to visit my mother-in-law. If I'm on the move, this is the size that I put in my tea bag to take with me. Now I've got to take a little bit of that out because I got to leave room for my spoon to go in, my tea measure. And it's really just as simple as that. It really is. Tighten that up and it is ready to go. How about that? So we just blended some tea, and this 100% changes the flavor here. It enhances the florals that are in this beautiful, beautiful oolong black tea. And so it really feels like you're having breakfast in Paris with the beautiful florals and all. All right. Okay. Now, let's drink some tea. Okay, I am back and I have tea. So today's tea is perfect for springtime. I wouldn't reach for that on a day like today with it's misty outside and cold, but because I'm filming today and I wanted to share this with you all, I'm going to do that. So today's tea is called Big Easy. And it is from August Uncommon. This is one of my top teas from August. And you see this little size here? This is a sample size, a travel size. This is what I grab, like 4 or 5 of these, throw them in my tea bag when I'm going to be on the road or on vacation. And so when I went to my tea pantry to get out my full size tin, it was not there. So I obviously finished that one and didn't remember to reorder. And when I went to reorder, they were sold out. And so this is what I have to show you. But I usually get a bigger one. Neither here nor there. So anyway, this tea is a green tea. Now you all know, if you've been here for a minute, black teas are my favorite, but I do drink green teas. I don't really drink white tea at all, but I do like a good green tea. Green tea you have to be careful with, right? Because it can be bitter. And that comes from two things: water that's too hot and steep time that's too long. So green tea needs to be tempered for about like 175 degrees. Is that what they said? Yeah, about 175 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 80 degrees Celsius. And then you only want to steep it for 3 minutes. And when I tell you 3 minutes, folks, I mean 3 minutes, and zap that out of there, because just a shade, just a hair over that is going to create a bitter brew. When I have green tea, I don't add milk. I will sweeten sometimes, and I usually like to sweeten with honey. This particular tea, the Big Easy, is loaded with things that don't require sweetener because it infuses into your brew. Let me tell you what's in this tea. This tea has Chinese Sencha green tea, Thai pineapple, rose hips, German malted barley, lemongrass, caramel, dried orange, and natural flavorings. So the caramel and the pineapple and the rose hips in this is very dominant, and it is delicious. This one, I'll tell you right off the bat, if you were to make a strong brew and then put it into a beautiful glass, you could add some rum. Rum would be a good addition to this if you wanted to do a tipsy tea. Mine is not tipsy. When I'm on video with you guys, I'm not having tipsy tea. I'm having, regular tea. And so it's in my little, it's in my little bunny mug. And my bunny mug has a plate too, shaped like an egg. Can you stand the cuteness? Isn't that so cute? So when I have my breakfast in the morning, bunny mug, bunny plate. Because I'm fancy like that. So let me show you what the tea looks like. All of those ingredients that I told you, rose hips, the citrus, the pineapple, it's all in here. It's all right here. And this is what I love about August Uncommon, because they don't just tell me that they're putting it in there. They're putting it in there. So these are not artificially flavored. It is flavored with the actual, you see, lemongrass here. There's a chunk of pineapple. There's rose hips all throughout. And then there's a dried orange. I love that. This is very aromatic. You can smell the sweetness from the pineapple. A little bit of the aroma from the dried orange peel. And you can definitely smell the lemongrass and rose hips. It is a beautiful, beautiful tea. And it's like potpourri. You could just sit it out and it would smell so fine. So wonderful. So it makes a beautiful amber color brew. It's very light. And again, when I do sweeten green teas, I generally like to use some sort of honey. Now, I have seen some companies, Adagio teas, as a matter of fact, is where I get this from. They have teas that are specific. No, sorry, back that up. They have honey that is specific to certain tea. For example, they have a green tea honey. They have a black tea honey, and so forth like that. And so you would use that particular honey, the green tea honey, to sweeten this. I guess it's lighter. It doesn't make that much of a difference to me because I don't add a lot. I don't want to taste honey. Now, I will eat honey on a spoon if I need some quick energy, but in my tea, I just add a little bit just to kind of, give me just a little bit of sweetness. I don't like sweet tea. I just want a little, like a little whisper. So, before I take a sip, I had shared with you before about August. They always have something very lovely on their tea labels. This one says, Big Easy Pineapple Caramel Green Tea. I remembered I did not even tell you that. So there's pineapple caramel green tea. It says it tastes like pineapple cake, caramel beignet, and dried lemon peel, but it feels like a lazy stroll through the French Quarter. Isn't that lovely? I love that. And I have several August teas, and every time I use one, I read that like it's my first time. So cute. All right, now let's taste this one. It is a beautiful amber color brew. Smells like it has the scent of caramel. Heavy, heavy, heavy. That's what it smells like in the cup. The dried leaves, you can smell all of the components. Just kind of depends on where you shove your nose. Okay, I'm going to take a sip now. Cheers. That's nice. The first thing I got from that was the lemongrass. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. It's very citrus forward. I'm not getting a lot of pineapple in this one. And here's the thing with that. Because when I scoop out my teas, when I measure my tea out, I use a tea scoop. Depending on what I get in that scoop, of course, it's going to influence the brew, right? So perhaps in the scoop that I did for this one, I got more of the citrus and less of the pineapple. It is still good either way. This one I did not sweeten. I have no honey in this one. Doesn't really need it this time either. Oh, yeah. That's really, really good. So remember, with green tea, as I told you before, I temperature my water and I time my tea brew. I time the steeping. It's really important. So with green tea, remember we're going to have the water be 175 degrees Fahrenheit, about 80 degrees Celsius, and it has a steeping time of 3 minutes. And that is it. At that 3-minute mark, you got to get those leaves out of there. Otherwise, you're going to have a bitter brew. Now, with the green tea, I don't usually add any milk to it. Again, if I'm going to add anything, it's going to be honey. And if I'm doing a tipsy tea, then I will add an alcohol to it. Now, let me just say this too. With the tipsy teas, they're not hot. When I do a tipsy tea, it is going to be a cold tea. Okay. So I don't necessarily put hot rum. I would make it a strong brew, let it sit, and then make the cocktail with it. And I must say too, I don't often have tipsy teas. When I had tea parties, I would serve a lot of tipsy tea, but I don't generally do that for myself. Ain't nothing wrong with it though. If that's what you want to do. Yes, this is lovely. I do taste caramel. And you see, if you add the sweetener to this, it's going to really enhance all of those base flavors, right? Anything that should be sweet is going to be enhanced. It's going to be heightened, right? So you're going to get really a caramel flavor coming forward. More pineapple, more of the citrus, more of the orange, the lemon peel, the lemongrass. Very, very good. Very good. All right, August, I see you. I see you. Let's take a look at this tea one more again. Look at that. Look at all the goodness that's in there. Oh, see, get my face out of the way, then it'll focus for you. Look at that. So good. Beautiful, beautiful tea. Beautiful tea. And you see I have in this little dish. I will have this with me to look at. I think it's so pretty. Yep, smells delightful. So perfect for this time of year. And Another thing about August, if you visit their website and, for example, you would click on or search for Big Easy, they will have recipes for you on the website of other ways to use the tea so you can see the versatility, I did there, of tea. And I don't really go into all of that here on the channel because I know that, we come and we're going to sip tea and have a little conversation about it, and then we want to move on to stitching and doing other things. But yes, so I love that about August. And what else can I tell you about this? Oh, this one has a repeat brew. It says you can reinfuse up to 2 times. I personally do not do that. I do steep. I may steep it again, but I usually steep it 1 time and I'm off and running, doing something else. But that's nice to know too, because that takes your tea a little farther. Now, keep in mind, when you do brew again, the brew will be weaker, right? Because you will have infused quite a bit out of it. Oh, another thing that I want to tell you about brewing green tea. So important. When you are brewing green tea, you're going to add the water to your drinking vessel first, and then you're going to introduce the tea into that. You're not going to pour hot water over your green tea leaves. It makes a huge difference in the brew. If you are brewing black tea, so let me back up. If you are brewing white tea and green tea, you're going to put water and you're going to bring tea to water. Okay? You're going to bring your tea bag and put it in the hot water. If you are brewing black tea, oolong tea, Pear, things of that nature, a darker, stronger tea, you're going to bring water to tea, which means you're going to put your tea bag in first and then pour your hot water over. Okay? So, and we want to temperature the water, and we also want to be mindful of the time. If you don't have the temperature on your water, just a general rule of thumb is you can go ahead and boil it and then let it sit for about 5 minutes, and that should put it where it needs to be for a green or white tea. White tea is extremely delicate. Not my favorite. I don't even have any. It just doesn't offer a lot of flavor for me at all. My husband likes white tea, peach, and I will make him that for iced tea, but I have to use so much of it, so it's a waste to me. I like strong tea. Like I said, I like black tea, but all tea comes from the same bush, the Camellia sinensis plant, and the processing of it, the drying of it, the aging of it is what gives it the different properties that takes a tea from white to green to black to Pear. Okay, and we'll be talking about that as we go along. I give you little bits and snippets as we go along. What else can I tell you? Green tea, is full of antioxidants, polyphenols, things that are really, really good for us. If you are able to, you should be consuming green tea on the daily. It really is that good for you. It's good for your heart health. It's good for your brain. It's good for your gut. It's good for your skin. It has lots and lots of health properties to it. I will leave you to Google those on your own. I don't want to get a ding for violation because I am not a medical person. I love tea. I study tea. I drink tea. And so I do like to talk about tea. But do look that up. There are very, very many health benefits to having 2 to 3 cups of green tea a day. It's really good. As I mentioned before, I am a heart attack survivor. I had 2 heart attacks in 2016, and my cardiac rehabilitation coach put me on 4 cups of green tea a day. Yes, he did, Mr. Randy. He sure did that. And so anyway, I'm still here and I'm strong, and life is beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to have another sip of this tea, and then I'm going to let you be on your merry way. Yeah. Yep. That is really good. And a lot of times when I have tea, I usually take tea with my meals. So I wouldn't necessarily have this tea at breakfast time, but I'm trying to think of what I would eat that lemon cake. Yeah, or a cupcake. I love cupcakes. So something like that. Something light, like a strawberry shortcake would be good, or a slice of pound cake with some raspberries and blueberries. That would be good too. I would not pair it with pineapple, and here's the reason why. You will lose the flavor of the tea. So I usually tell people, if you are going to have something with a flavored tea, a blended tea, try not to have something that's in the tea, because you'll lose that. It will become a different flavor for you. So we look for something to enhance it. And again, Google will be able to tell you things that will pair with a green tea or that has pineapple in it or something like that. Okay? Okay. So that was a nice little tea time. I'm so glad you joined me. Thank you so much. And I will be right back. Okay. Okay, well, we have come to the end of our time together. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to spend with me. I hope that you saw something you liked and got inspired. Maybe you'll try one of the teas, or maybe you might pick up something that I stitched. But at any rate, do not forget about the giveaway. Keyword is honey, and just leave me a comment with the word honey in it, and I will use the random comment picker, YouTube random comment picker, to pick a winner. Please don't say anything in your comment about winner, giveaway, prize, or anything like that, because it will attract bots and trolls. And I don't have time for either of those. Okay. So we want to keep this nice and clean and fair. And so, yes, don't include any of those words. And you have to be 18 years of age or older so that I can get your mailing address. I still got tea. I'm going to take a sip. Dry throat. Ooh, that's good. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for 1 year of fun. And some of you I've got to meet in person and give a hug to and spend some time with. And that was lovely. So I hope to meet many more of you along the way, going on different trips. And maybe I will be able to go to some retreats here very soon. We shall see. We shall see. But in the meantime and in between time, you guys take care of each other. Stay safe. Get in some good stitching time. I will see you again in the month of May. And we will discuss what I'm stitching now. That's how that goes. So if you are so inclined, do subscribe to the channel. Do like the video. I would love a comment. I love your comments. I do respond to the comments. And if I haven't responded to yours, just know that I will. I get around to them. Sometimes not right away, but I do get around to them. If you have a question for me, you can drop that in the comments below. I have received a few emails from some of you, and I apologize for not getting back to you in a timely manner. There is a lot going on in my family since my mom passed. We actually have been in litigation. She passed in 2023, and we have been in litigation since then. So that's a lot, and a lot going on for us. Prayerfully, we will be at the end of that very soon. Very, very soon. So I want to leave you on a high note. Enjoy spring, right? If you're gardening, I want to know that. I want to know what type of tea you're sipping. If you care to share what you're stitching on, that's fine too. And again, if you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comment box below. I'm looking out my window scanning for my Rupert. I do not see him. That's okay. So, I'm not going to hold you any longer. You know the drill. You go and do what you got to do, because I'm going to go do what I got to do. And I'll be talking to you. All right? Take care. Bye for now.